I have outgrown the neo-colonizers and imperialist shackles. No longer am I bound by the hefty shackles of the neo-colonizer and the imperialist. Dua to the Most High, dua to the ancestors. Alas, the cost of truth is detestation, and the reward of the emissary of truth is often ridicule or death. Am I bothered by either possibility? Nay. For truth is revolution, and revolution is sacrifice. Sacrifice is freedom, and freedom is development. Ashe. Today it is no longer the neo-slave masters who are on trial, but the neo-slaves for their brass effrontery in defending and advancing the slave system of their masters. And oh, it galls me to concede that the neo-slaves, of which I was once the foremost, are the greatest armor of their master's dominion. Yebo, I heeded the relentless wailing of the sacred blood of my ancestors, strewn across the Atlantic Ocean, and no sooner my shackles began to fall one by one like the wind approaching trees. I am free, free as the diamond is from the alloy, free as the wind, free as light and water, free as the constellations that light the universe, free from the tyranny of fear, free from the illusion of inclusion, free from the delusion of religion, free from the deception of neo-colonial education, free from the shackles of the psychoneurotic European and Arabian power structures. Dear friends, have I not the right as an African to research why some neurotic supremacists erroneously believe that they are superior to the rest of humanity? Have I not the right as a bona fide African filled with the spirit of my ancestors to be preoccupied with ways of trampling on the arrogance of our miseducators and the naivety of my people? Have I not the right to dethrone those neurotic despots whose triumph is predicated upon our ignorance as a people? Have I not the right to pierce the souls of the neo-colonizer and imperialist with arrows of conviction for flooding the Atlantic Ocean with the sacred blood of our ancestors? Have I not the right to lay heavy burdens upon the bankrupt consciences of those whose wealth and monuments are founded upon the destruction of our people and continent? Woe! We plant the wheat, and they give us the chaff. We bake the bread, and they give us the crumbs. We sieve the meal, they give us the husk. We peel the meat, they give us the skin, and that is the way they take us in. We skim the pot, they give us the liquor, and say that is good enough for the blackie. The blackie is the handiwork and property of the neo-colonizer and imperialist. The African is one who is unbound from the grave clothes of the blackie. The blackie is a slave of the whitey, and the African is unfit to be a slave. And oh, it is my intention to expose the sophisticated trickery of the European and Arabian power structures once again. I will not tire, for I am fueled by the infinite ancestral fuel. I will disclose how these cultured tyrants have gotten us deplorably drunk and docile. I shall delineate forensically how the cunning neo-colonizer and imperialist are able to infuse our minds with a vicious dollop of hypnosis. Oh, I shall lay bare how these hoodlums artfully disguise servitude under the label of liberty. And while I have a mind to think and a tongue to speak and a hand to write, I will to the utmost of my brawn oppose all neo-colonial and imperialist slaveholding kingdoms. That is Europe, that is Arabia, that is America, that is Sino-Asia, their public and private corporations, our gatekeeping government leaders, our continental unions, their so-called hallowed halls of academia, their slaveholding religions, our intellectual mercenaries, for they are the culprits responsible for our arrested state of underdevelopment. And to the neo-colonizer and imperialist, your ideologies are mere bombast. Your Machiavellian history, your gross miseducation, your opium religions are not mine. Yes, you may rejoice, but I must moan. I lament inexorably at our pitiable condition. that wherever you go in this world, more so in our own continent, that we are the most humiliated and flunkified, that we are the most inconsequential, the most prodigal, the most backward, the most materialistic, that we are the most poverty-stricken, that we are the most conditioned and controlled, that we are the highest exemplification of a bewitched people. In running away from our native land, we have fled and are still fleeing to the devouring neo-colonizers and imperialist wolves. We have fled into the arms of the biggest and most sophisticated slave-holding confederations. That we are still bolting en masse to a hollow and hypocritical church and masjid, the new slave boats. To my beloved African families, I write to vindicate a just and beneficent principle in its application to the whole human family, by letting in the light of truth upon a system esteemed by most of my fellow African brothers and sisters an undeserved blessing, and by myself and a very few others as a curse and a crime. I am behoved by the Most High and the sacred ancestors to enlighten the public mind by exposing the true nature, the true character, and tendency of the transubstantiated neo-slave system of the Europeans and the Arabs. Yes, I must concede that transitioning from slavery to freedom may be described as escaping a den of hungry lions. Yes, it is a brutal expedition that is not for the spineless. Dear African brothers and sisters, I want you to know that our whippings, our scourgings, our brandings, our chainings never ended. They just took on a new form.